Alright, so instead of going to advanced bots, I think we'll play the highest ranked intermediate bot. And if Mateo plays well, we'll also play Ali. And possibly David. Gonna be honest, after playing Nelson, I don't really want to play Vin. The games are good though. The games are fine. So, let's play Mateo. And we'll play with random pieces. We get white, King's Pawn, and never been to Sicily. Never been to Sicily. Now, why did I say that so weird? Never been to Sicily. Never been to Sicily. Never been to Sicily. Well, Mateo, I too have never been to Sicily. Open up. Oh no. I done ripped the bag. Unbelievable. Oh, these smell so good. Mango sour strips. Yes, please. My dad likes to play Sicilian. This is what I kind of do against him. Interesting. I've never seen that queen move before. Alright. So we got knight c3. Imagine if he takes. Not takes. Or imagine if he left his queen there. Now he's calling my queen out. Like it's personal or something. Immediately I'm seeing this square right here. Wide open. How can we defeat that bishop? Go to Ponziani. Bishop f4. c3. d4. And so he's saving it. Gotta play knight e2. Okay, so he defended well. Not gonna lie, It's not the best position for black, but he did play well. He did defend well. So, with his oncoming attack, you know, bishop c4 is just met with pawn to b5. So, you would end up going back here, right? I think he'd be on this square, which is a good square, you know, especially with all of these, you know, kind of threats that you're going to be causing. But, you know, what's wrong with my arrows? Hello? 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 What? Huh. What? What is that? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are you serious? What is that? What is that? What is that? My arrows are broken. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm very angry. What I was gonna say is, you know, that's met with b5. So if we go a4 and b5 comes, we have the option of going back to that square, but we also have the option coming back to the c2 square and the d1 square. So it seems like there's a little bit more movement, but I kind of like the b3. I kind of like bishop on b3 already. So alright, so he brings out his knight. Let's stop. So that's a possibility of what's coming. Knight taking e4. Should I gun bishop here? No, because I still want to play d4 later. But for now, we're going to have to play d3. If he decides to play g4, okay, he takes with the knight, so we're going to take with the bishop. This is what I was talking about last game. Look at this bishop. These are the pawns that are going to be able to attack this rank, or this file. I mean, this file, this D file right here, can be attacked by the C pawn and the E pawn. And both of them have missed this bishop. We can get queen trade, and we can, like the description says, Mateo likes endgames. So I'm okay with playing an endgame with him, especially if he's got some stacked pawns and a weakness in not being able to castle. Okay, so he doesn't want that. I'm not surprised. Nobody would want that. He does lose castling privileges, though. He's no longer allowed to castle. Well, let's see here. I have a bishop pair. Mateo has a bishop pair. I'm just looking at this pawn structure that he has. It's not good. His pawn structure is bad. Mine, you know, is solid. I have a solid pawn structure. He's got stacked pawns. He's got a hole here. This is doing its thing over here. And you know, those two are strong over there. But with this many pawns on the board, I have all 8 of my pawns. He has all 8 of his pawns. So the knights are better than the bishops, because the bishops prefer open games. So we're going to actually take the bishop and we're going to forget the pair and we're going to trade his knight. Look at that. We're stacking his pawns. He's got 2 stacked pawns. He's got 2 stacked pawns here. An open file here and an open file here. Let's take this bishop and let's play an endgame. We can castle. We can castle, or we can charge head first in with the king. Both those options aren't bad. The king is a powerful piece, especially in the endgame. And this is an endgame. We have one piece, which is the knight, and we have our rooks. You know, rooks are pieces too. Yeah, rooks. But the rooks, they're made for the endgame. You can, yeah, here, let's say a bishop's here on c1. King can step right through that. You know what I mean? He'll walk his happy king butt right through there. You know? But when it comes to rooks, you know, if this guy's right here, these are walls that can't be crossed by the king. And if you get a rook onto a spot that's protected by a pawn, this endgame, and there's no other pieces, you're winning. You're winning. We're gonna get ready to crack the center open here at e5. Yeah. And if he doesn't want to take that pawn, which he doesn't, we'll castle here so we don't get that taken. Here comes an attack on our knight. He's keeping pressure, but knight g3 takes, we take, and we do not allow him to unstack those pawns. Those pawns are stacked. There's nothing you can do about it. Let's give a check. He takes. Instead of, oh, okay. Now we have a choice to make. Now we have a choice to make. Rook AF1 is coming. If we take with the pawn, these guys are they're stuck. Those guys are stuck. But, you know, it's already his disadvantage. It's already his disadvantage because they are stacked. So I don't know, because this is a nice pawn island here in the middle. You know? And if we decide to take here, and then we'll threaten this square and this square with that pawn, and this square and this square with that pawn. Do you see the difference that a pawn island makes? 4 squares protected here in these, you know, spots versus just a solid wall of protection. So we're going to take with the rook. He goes straight for an attack. Straight for an attack. He's not allowing me rook AF1 with this move here. So if I go here, check, then I can move over here in this direction, and I'll be winning material. I mean, he'll push that actually, and then the king will be right here. So there's not actually anything I can do in that position. So that would be an inaccuracy. Better to protect the center. So that's what we'll do. We'll protect the center. Let's see what rook king move. He does a king move right here. We're fine to attack this pawn over here. Hanging pieces right here, right here. This rook is hanging. There's a lot of pressure on this pawn right here. I think we should go for a rook trade. Now is the time to push this. Peter doesn't like that. Let's protect. G2. So we have the opportunity to kind of push this king around. We're not going to waste that opportunity. Push the king around. Take here. And now we have rook check, and we won a pawn. He could have gone over here. I guess he wants to keep his king in the game or something like that. Interesting decision. Check. So we have one pawn, and he has a stacked pawn. So let's push him off. We can't checkmate him yet, but we sure can get dangerous. He plays that, we just push the pawn. And we're winning. First move to make. So many options here. We could lose 2 if we don't do something, but we're gonna take a few. So we take here, he takes here. So we take here, so he takes here. So then we take here, and that one's also being threatened. So he'll push. And we'll go rook over here. That's fine with me, because if he moves his rook, then we can check the king on a8 and take the other rook. So that's fine with me. So we'll take this right here. He sees it, so he doesn't want anything to do with that. These computers are so weird the way they think. So we'll capture. Was that the best move for the computer to make? No, let's get 2 rooks off. We don't want 2 rooks on the board right now. We're getting ready to promote, so we'll check and we'll rook trade. Take this pawn. Actually, we'll push up to the 7th rank because it's more dangerous there. That's game. Let's not ruin this promotion opportunity. So you can't just rush in immediately. If you rush in immediately, you say pawn c7. King goes here, attacking your rook. The pawn is protected. So, let's just really win-win on this side. I don't understand these rook moves. Why would he go there? Why would he do that? And now you're done. Check. And we cut the king off. Like I said before, he can't go over here on this side or on this side. So we play to win. We play to win. We play to win. What is it you think he's doing? What is it? What is it? And next move is checkmate. Yay! We beat Mateo. We beat Mateo.